And I'm not joking. It was a question of standing in front of the umpire like this against my own fielders. So, because the tensions were high, the ground, the pin drop silence. 4 days, everything stopped in India. People were going in hospitals with blood pressure. 6 or 7 people died of heart attacks. Streets of India, Pakistan were empty. So, in such pressure, to put this sort of pressure on the umpires, I thought was very unfair. Poor umpires, I could see their faces. So, neutral umpires have taken all this away. People don't realize how lucky they are. And I remember whenever I used to talk about neutral umpires, I always used to be told, it all evens out in the end. This cliche, it all evens out in the end. Now, I'll indulge in just one other incident. I had retired in 1987, thinking that, I'm about to be 35, end of a fast bowler's career, so I don't want to be left to the mercy of the selectors. So I should leave when I'm still on the top. So I announced my retirement, thinking that the World Cup in '87 was the last big tournament I'd play. In my time, we hardly played any Test cricket. At my peak, when I was at my fastest, we played about 5 Test matches in 3 years. I retired because I thought this is the last big tournament would be the World Cup. There's nothing else ahead. Best time to go. When I retired, I suddenly discovered that West Indies invited Pakistan for a tour. West Indies invited Pakistan for a tour because Australia, for some reason, the Australian team had cancelled their tour. Why did the Australian team cancel their tour? Because in those days, you won't believe it when you look at the current West Indies team, but in those days it was not a question of winning against the West Indies. It was a question of losing with dignity. And clearly the Australian team thought they would lose their dignity. So they cancelled and Pakistan were inducted. So anyway, now I had already retired, but my great desire was that to have one last go at this great team, which I thought was the greatest team in cricket history. I cannot still imagine any team being better than that. You can't. People who played against them, and I think Mark played at some level, or he knew what level they played. But anyone who played against them, if David Gower was here, he would sort of tell you what it was like after losing 10-0 against them. It was a harrowing experience. After that, everything became easy. After the West Indies, if you played any other team, it became like you're playing as schoolboys. So anyway, so I thought, okay. And then, of course, the Pakistan dictator at the time, General Zia, he asked me to come back for the sake of Pakistan cricket. And, of course, my main thing was that one last chance at the West Indies. So I accept the tour. We go to the West Indies. 5 one-day matches, Pakistan wiped out 5-0. So I'm suddenly thinking, did I make the right choice? Anyway, first Test match, after 15 years, West Indies lose a Test match. Pakistan win by a huge margin, 8 wickets. 3 Test series, second Test match. At Trinidad, Pakistan bowled the West Indies out for 140. West Indies bowled Pakistan out for 150. Second innings, now I narrate this because, here was my desire to finish my career beating the greatest team in cricket history. So, the match is now poised, and West Indies now lose 2 wickets in the evening, and in the morning they lose the 3rd wicket, and in walks Sir Vivian Richards. West Indies tottering at 70, 60 for 3, 60 ahead for 3, something like that. And then they lose another wicket, and so they are now 70 for 4. Now the whole ground, again pin drop silence, everyone knew that what stood us and between a series win was Vivian Richards. We knew it, the crowd knew it, Viv certainly knew it, because The gum was being chewed at 10 times the normal pace. The jaws were moving very quickly. You knew he was very nervous. So anyway, but sadly, the umpires also knew it. And here's an in-swing bowler who had so many times who thought there were LBWs which went against him. I mean, over my career, because I was an in-swing bowler mainly. I don't remember any of them. But I remember this decision as if it happened yesterday. So early, 70 for 4, the series would have been all over on the third day of the test match. And Viv Richards coming in, struggling really in this aggressive mood, chewing gums working very hard. And I still remember this ball. And if the bowlers here, well, Jeff Thompson would know it, except that he would blast batsmen out. He wouldn't sort of bowl these subtle things. But anyway, I was bowling this outswinger. I was bowling cross breeze blowing, and to Viv, you always bowl outswingers. So he was not. Mark, Johnny would know this, that when a bowler is bowling outswingers, you don't take your front foot out too far. You're playing from your crease because you're waiting for the ball to do its work. So he was playing from the crease, bowling outswingers, and then something happened. Intentional outswinger, but the ball pitches and comes back. Not intentionally. Bowler doesn't know it, and so neither does the batsman know it. Anyway, I still remember it was missing his leg and off stump, but hitting the middle. And closed. He got it right standing in front of the crease. It was about 22 years ago, but I can still picture it. Middle stump being knocked out of the ground, hit him flush in front. We appeal, and we appeal, and we appeal, because everyone knew everything depended on this decision. And I looked at the umpire, and he wouldn't look at me. He kept looking down, and he wasn't given out. So Viv Richards went on to make 100. We were, in the end, 40 runs with 1 wicket left, match drawn. And we didn't win the series. It was a 1-1 draw. And I thought about it. When I saw this referral system, I thought, God, if only we had that. So Johnny, of course, doesn't agree with it, but I think this is a great innovation. Because if you believe that the spirit of the game is to play the game fairly, and you want accurate results, you must eliminate every chance of there being a wrong result. Because that's how you will find that on the cricket field, the atmosphere is very harmonious. Bitter atmosphere, anger, all the tantrums we used to see on the grounds always happen when players felt that they were being cheated by the home umpires. But now, neutral umpires have changed everything. And what little technology we have has also eliminated so much of the controversies. Run-outs, it's no longer an issue. But the problem is that I think we can even go a step further. I completely agree with these referral systems. I think it's a very positive thing. So, in my time, what has improved? Umpiring has improved a lot. The results are much fairer now. It's the old days when you could not win away series, that no longer is the case. Things have improved as far as the umpiring has gone, and I think it should improve further with the use of technology. I'm all for the use of technology to get fairer results.